Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm coming to you with something completely new and different. This was requested by several people on my channel to do a journal with not purchase items, not digitals, not fancy things, just truly a junk journal. So this is truly a junk journal. It starts out with a cover that is made from a tray from food. I believe it was chicken legs. Yes, I believe it was chicken legs. And covered up with an ad from my local grocery store, front and back. And then the inside just has a random supply of stuff I pulled out of the recycling bin, calendars, envelopes, mail, ads, instruction guides for a computer, the written language that you get when you get the mail from the government. They always have that page that says, you know, for other languages to find things like that. So just truly every single thing is junk. So in this video, I show you the items that I decided to pull and use. And I also, it's a double video where I show you how to do this hidden spine no-sew journal. Now recently I did the washi tape version of a hidden tab, and this is a bit different, used with paper folded like an accordion for a hidden spine. I know there's somewhere in here there that is poking through and glued down, but a lot of them, and I do show how you can make it hidden where you don't see where the tab is coming out for a lot of these. This one it does show in here, but a lot of them are completely hidden where you do not see the tab at all. So it is a dual video. I chose how to do this, that you can use fancy stuff with to make a hidden journal, hidden tab journal, or I also show you my process to make a journal with just stuff. So if you'd like to see how this gets decorated, or if you want me to decorate it, I should say, put a link in the comments, or put a comment in the below saying, yeah, I'd like to see how this could be decorated. And I think it'd be interesting to try to decorate such a random collection of stuff. So, all right, well, that is the journal, and stay tuned for how we take care of this. Hopefully I will see you at the end of the video, and you can leave some comments about how you liked it and if you'd like to see me decorate it. So thanks for stopping by, and here comes the instructions. Okay, for this no-sew journal made out of junk journal pages, I'm going to show you a bit of the stuff that I'm possibly going to put into it. This will not be all that goes into one journal, but I've collected a bunch because I've got the two journals in mind to do. So I have food ad. I figured I could fold this and glue it together since it's a little thinner. I've got an ad from Ace. I thought this was kind of cool with the flip out that's in there. I have a instruction manual. I thought this one was cool. It's some open words on there, so I was thinking about using the cover for that, but there's some interesting pictures on the inside also. I thought about using some of that. I have a menu also with a flip out. Deep dish pizza, yummy Chicago. I found an old calendar from 2022, and I thought this picture was very cool for an artistic kind of thing. Not sure how I'm going to enter it into a journal, but I thought it was cool. I've just got some pages from a book that I actually use as my glue book that has just tiny little font on there. I thought it was cool. Just have an ad from a bank that comes in the mail. Now, if you go through your mail, a lot of times, especially with government things, medical things, you'll see a lot of these kind of pages that have translations. So this has a bunch of different languages on there, so I thought that was cool. Half the page was not written on, so I thought that was cool. This we somehow got from, I think, our dentist, one of those forms you fill out. Well, there's another page with some language on there, blank on the side. This one is just pretty much blank, but it had some writing on there, so I thought that was cool. another one of those forms that you fill out. Somehow we got in our house. Oop, that's what my envelopes. This was just a piece of paper that had good emptiness on one side, little fonts on the other. So I found a bunch of envelopes that I could possibly use with different kind of windows. Big windows, little windows, single windows, double windows, really big envelopes. And then I had a couple at home that haven't been used that I could seal. So I have those envelopes. And then I've got just some random other pieces of paper here. This my husband had printed and thrown away, but it's got some interesting colors on there. Here is just another sheet with lots of writing on there. More language stuff. This is just an ad that came in the mail. Lots of interesting numbers on there. And again, love those. This page intentionally left blank. Like, seriously, could you waste more paper? Another, I think this was a, oh, I like this one. It came, I think, from a prescription. Yeah, it was prescription. But I liked how big that was. And mostly blank. And this one was, you can tell I took this stuff out of the garbage. A lot of it is kind of a little scrunched. So very little writing on that. And then this one, I just like the color on that one. So yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to use, I'm sure, all of these, but it is a good amount of stuff to have to try to make it. Okay, so I'll put these to the side. Now for my topper for this journal, I've decided to use a meat tray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this base here, and then I'm going to cut it in half to determine how big the journal will be, so then I can cut my papers, because I don't know how big this is going to be. That's kind of loud. Both go to the other side again. All right. Now we'll cut from this side. Okay. And we'll cut this side down. Didn't quite make it. Very close. Okay. All right, so let's figure out how big we're going to cut this in half. This piece is, okay, it's 10.5, so I think I'll cut it down to 10. And I think I'm going to cut down this side right to about here. I'm sorry, 12. It's 12.5. Cut it down to about 12. No random reason. Just thought it'd be easier to divide 12 in half than it is to 12.25. All right, so my 6 spot is right there. Now I could probably use an X-Acto blade to cut this, my trimmer, but these long scissors seem to be working okay, and they're pretty good. So I was kind of hoping it was a little thinner and I could round the edges for them, but I could always do that with scissors, just to give it a little less of a funky look. I think I'll put that one in the back. I'll put this one in the front. Straighten it out a little bit because I kind of hacked that part. Okay. Not that the front and back will be together, but just trying to make them a little bit more even. Okay. All right, so get rid of those, and there we go. Okay, so that is going to be my cover. So we are going to probably make pages that are approximately 5 by 5 to fit in there as a nice size. All right, so let's start with this, and when we fold it in half, it is about 5, so that is going to be good. So I guess I'll just grab my trimmer and cut this in half. And then I can do it one of two ways. I can cut this down, or I can put this in the journal like this. All right, this is 3.5, and that's 7. So if I cut it down to about 5, that works for me. Okay, now this is 5, beautiful, by about 7 tall. So I want to shrink it down. Could lose part of those tickets, but that's okay. I'm going to cut it down here. See if I can get it to 5 going this way. Alright, so I still got those flip outs, and it will fit. Okay. Alright, so I use that. Let's figure out where 5 is on this. Put the pizza in there. Don't necessarily need that. Calendar, I think I'm going to try to bind it here. So get rid of, I really like that bottom, but that top, oh, decisions. All right, so we get it to 5. That's not too bad. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. And we're gonna get it to 5. Wanted to go that way. Okay. All right, so we got those. All right, definitely want to get some language ones in here. So we're going to fold it this way. And cut it down there, and 5. Let's see, what do we got here? All right, so we're going to throw a couple envelopes in there. I don't think we're going to have to cut these at all. Nope, we can just, now the problem with that is I don't want to cut through a window. I don't think I can use that one. All right, maybe do it like that. this in there. So we're gonna cut that down. Cut that down to 5. I think this is something about my husband's fantasy football league or something. Printing out scores. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so that in there. This is like 4.5. I can have a fold out. So put this down to 5 here. Okay, and okay, I'm gonna do it this way, and we will cut it down to right there, and then we'll just trim this top off a little bit. Yeah. Now I had now normally if it was my journal, I wouldn't have this. I blacked out information there, but for demonstration purposes, I am fine with having that line in there. All right. Do it that way. And down to 5. Covered some of that up with some label tape too. So, but again, just some blankish pages. I'm writing on one side. Nothing too earth-shattering, but lots of stuff that was going into the recycling bin. Because who needs intentionally left blank pages? I sure don't. All right, so I'm not sure how many we need, so but I think I'm going to stop after this one, and I'm going to show you so I'm gonna stop right now and clean this up, and I'm gonna show you the next part. Okay, for the next part, we are gonna cut the spine of this journal. And I'm actually, this was not necessarily garbage, but it was just index pages from a book that I have. I decided to use them mainly because the color was cool, the yellow, and they're a bit longer, so I should be able to get some longer strips out of these, which I thought was a good thing. I think I'm going to cut, this book is 5 inches, so I think I'm going to cut 2-inch strips. Yeah, that should be pretty good. I'm going to cut a couple of these. Start. Okay. Now, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can just go ahead and fold, accordion style, or you can score if you have a scoreboard. Now I'm going to score this first one approximately 1.5 inches to right there, so I get the first fold how far I want it. But then after that, I am just going to accordion fold back onto itself, trying to keep it as straight as possible and the same height. width. I'm not sure which this would be, height or width, as the first piece. Okay, so you want your strips to go the same direction, ending both down, both up, however you want it to. So I would probably, if I was just doing this one, I would cut this off, but since I'm going to add some, I'm going to just even this out, and I'm going to take some glue. Use our glitter glue because it's going to dry a little quicker, and I'm just going to attach the next strip to this piece to continue on. All right, so we want to make sure it's straight as possible, and then we will continue to fold. Okay, so I've done the accordion fold with 2 sheets of paper. So again, we want them both to hang the same direction, so I'm going to cut this last strip off because it is the odd man out, and it's also a little shorter, so we'll get rid of him. Okay, so we have our lovely tabs. Okay, so these end tabs are going to end up going onto the outside of our journal covers. And then the page will go in the middle, and then the outside is going to go like there. So this is why you see you want to have both tabs facing the same direction, because you're going to want to be able to attach them to a cover. Now, if you don't want to cover and you've got thicker pages that you use as your regular pages, then by all means, that's it. You do not have to have necessarily cover. Okay, so once you've got that in there, you're going to count how many, keep sticking a little bit from that glue. There we go. You're going to count how many, I'm going to call them mountains we have, because that's how many pages we're going to put into this journal. Okay, so that's my cover. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. I cut a lot more than that, so but that's okay. It's just an example purpose. So if I wanted to make more, then I could just keep adding strips as I went to this. Put that on there. But I'm going to show you another way to be able to get more than 5 pages on this project also anyway. So I might not have more than I need. So, okay, so let's start with our pile of the items that we had. And I don't think I ever cut this one down to be 5 inches. I did not. It's got a fold? It does. So, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Hold you in. And then cut you to 5. Okay. That still leaves quite a bit of pizza in there. We're good. Okay, so they don't have to be all the same height or anything, because we are going to be sticking this tab in the middle. You just want to be able to have enough room to be able to stick that into the book. So I'm going to figure out how we want to do this. We'll start with pizza. We'll go with something blank, and then color, some writing. Definitely want that in there. More writing. So that 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 6, 5. Okay. All right. We're gonna go with that. We'll be able to add these in a bit. Don't you fret. Okay, so how we're gonna get these, we're going to slide these into the spine of this book. So the way that we want to do it is we are going to determine where our spine needs to go, centered wise. So we figure the 5 squares, just make sure it's up in the line here. We have 5 squares, so this is the middle square. We're going to want to center this like this. So I'm going to mark a little line there in the beginning and a little line there at the end, just to show where I need to cut the slot. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to fold it onto itself. And I'm going to take some scissors and I'm just going to snip it along the fold line up to that spot and up to that spot. Okay? I'm going to do that with all 5 pages. I'm going to line it up. We're going to line it up. And truly, once you gotta get used to it, if you know, you could always make a mark. Easy way to do this is you get a piece of tape. And you know that it's going to be centered there, and you know that this is going to be the beginning mark. This is going to be end mark. I probably should have made the tape a little longer, but you know that that is going to be where it's centered. Then you don't have to keep bringing this back and forth to do your marks. And you can go ahead and mass mark these quite quickly. Hope we can see that one. And you're a little taller than 5, so I'm just going to center him like that. Okay. So, like I said, with all these, we're just going to take, and the key really is to make sure that you are lining it up straight, fold to fold, so that when you snip it, it's not going offline of either side of the slot. Okay, there's one. Okay, so we've got them all cut. I'm going to put them back in the order that I want to put them into the book. And I think I'm going to switch this for more of the center so that the back is not empty. Okay. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. Once again, we're going to find cover. This is going to be the first insert. So we're going to take it and we're going to wiggle it into there, and we're going to fold it down, and we're going to take this one and we're going to wiggle it into there, one. Cut that slit a little bit smaller than I think I needed to. There we go. And last one. Okay, so there we have our lovely spine put together. Now, normally what I would say to do is as you put your first piece in there, then you would go ahead and glue it down how you want to glue it down. Now, the reason I didn't glue it down is because there's tons of ways that you can attach these to your book. So, one of the ways is, and I'm going to not do it with this one because I have a different idea for this one. One of the easiest ways to do it is you just open up this tab. And I say easy and then it won't open. There we go. You're going to open up this tab and you're going to push it down like that. And you're just going to go ahead and glue the two sides down. And this is what's going to hold this page in place. Okay, so I'll let that glue, and that is one way to do it. Now, another way to do it is just to tape it one direction or the other. I'm not going to show you that because that's pretty standard on that. But another thing to do on these, and of course, the dates are upside down, but that's okay. Another thing to do on this is if you want to, is you can add another page to this, another slot. So let's take our envelope, which I did not mark yet, and we're gonna go ahead and snip this. And we're going to go ahead and put him on here. There we go. So now we have 2 pages for the price of 1. And again, we can go ahead and do any type of gluing that we want to do to keep this in place for that. Another thing that you can do after you put another page in like that is you can put a page on top of this to hide. Let's see, a shorter one here. I do not. That's a 3-tar. Okay, so let's say, I'm going to cut this one down just for demonstration purposes. Okay, we're going to cut him down to be about 3.5, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're going to mark him. No, we're not going to mark him. Sorry, almost forgot what I was doing. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up, and we are going to throw some glue on this side of the tab. And we're going to do our best to center it. I'm going to pull it a little bit away from the center so that it's got room to fold over. And then I'm going to throw the glue on this side. So we can do that. Now if I want to, I could always also, oops, get in there, throw a little glue on the bottom here. To make it an additional place to put a pocket for something, if we wanted to, or I could just glue it shut, which I probably will do because this is pretty thin paper. So I'm just gonna glue that shut. Okay, so now I'm losing my pages I haven't glued in. Stay. All right, so now this one is now 2 pages, a page, and a page inside that page. Okay. All right, so for this one, I think we'll end up doing, I wanted to keep that flip out like that, so I think I'll probably do another one of those pages that I glue in and close it together. So we're going to take this and we're just going to throw glue all over the page. And again, trying to center it, leave a little bit room for the spine to work. And there we go. Okay, all right, so that one's attached, these are attached, these are not attached. So I think I'm going to throw something colorful in this one. I think I'm going to do we'll do the lines on this one. A little harder to fold because it's thicker, but we are gonna give it a, we're gonna do it our best try. Now, if you didn't want to fold it in half and snip it, and you had a X-Acto blade, you could put the 2 lines and do an X-Acto blade between the 2. That would be easy, but not everyone has an X-Acto blade, so trying to use as minimal supplies as possible so that anybody could start. I think I'm going to split this one in half and do that so that anyone that has the desire to make a junk journal can do so just out of their trash. Okay. All right, so last one is you, and I think I'm gonna add a couple pages to this last one. So we're gonna chop you right there and there. I think I went far enough. Kind of lost that first line. It got blended in with the letters. Yeah, lost it just a little. There we go, just a little bit more. Okay, and it's upside down. We'll put it this way. There we go. Okay, that one worked now, and then we'll do this one as the last. And I think I'll do that same, glue it down, lock it in place, and look. Does that seem to work well? Now we're gonna go ahead and do that. Put some glue there. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. And, okay. Now to test it that they're all in there. They are all in there. Okay. All right, Lou. There we go. You got a little distracted there, but you're okay. That got glued on a little bit oddly, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be okay. All right. Now for the covers. Now, if I was truly making this as a journal, I would probably throw some sort of paper on top of here, something thin, glue it on there, maybe throw some paint on here, just to decorate it. But just for purposes of showing this, I am going to just glue them in. Okay, so like I said, we can wrap them around that way, but we can also glue them in this way so that they're unseen. But I am going to glue them on the outside. And then if I decide to cover it with paper, then this will be covered. Okay. All right, so we'll throw a bunch of glue on here. And we're gonna make sure it's straight. And we're gonna glue that down. Now for the tabs, like I said, I use the paper here. You could use any kind of paper that you want. Scrapbook paper, construction paper. If you want to find some heavier cardstock, that'll work. Okay, that looks about even. Throw some glue on there. And glue her down. All right, pin. Okay. Okay, so I think the glue is dry enough to do a flip through, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Like I said, decorate that how we want it to be. Got that page and that page, and then we've got this flip out page right there. We've got this lovely page, upside down calendar. Oops, did I glue it? Did I glue it? I glued it a little. There we go. Might think about cutting that off. But I think now that the glue's dry, it should be okay. So I got the envelope. I can stick some stuff inside there. Placed it right there. Little hidden spot. Little flap to put something. My writing blank spot. Got this with the cute little flip out for that one. There. Words, lines, words, back page, cover. All right, so not an heirloom journal by any means, something fun. Now, if you have some regular scrapbook paper that you want to go ahead and, you know, decorate these pages are definitely meant, they're not all writable to journal on. Some of them would probably be better with throwing some decorative stuff on there, you know, cover that up with some pretty stuff. Put some blank papers on there if you want to do that writing, journaling. This could have great tags on there, a little spot to do in there. Well, that's what I was going to say for a page if you wanted to, and I don't know, I got a bigger one here, and I do. Okay, so say I wanted to put this in there, I could have cut it down to 5, and instead of cutting it in half or cutting it less, I could have folded it up like that, and then cut it down to 5 and 5 so that I would have wraparound tuck pages to go into the journal. So you can do tucks in there by just cutting that to 5 and 5 and then being able to have pages folded up. You can do that just like other journals, or like I said, if we wanted to put this whole thing in there after I cut it down to the 5 and we wanted to have the folds. Goodness me. I should just cut this thing. It's too hard to explain. I have a longer one here that I can do that with. Okay, I have this one. So say that this was going to be the page that I had in there. If we wanted to, we could have, say this was a bit longer, we could have this folded over and we could cut it like a normal page, or fold it down like this so that you make your own tuck. You can do lots of things with these pages, which is nice because they don't have to necessarily be just right like that. But so there's the binding. Again, if you wanted to cover it with some paper, front to back, you could cover the spine. You don't have to, but it just is a nice, easy flip open. And it's extremely light. This cover is extremely light. So, but this is an extreme measure of what you can use with junk from your house. All right, so I've decided that this journal did deserve a cover. So I have attached a cover to the front page, just the outside. I haven't done anything to the inside, but I want to show you what I did. I did take the ad that I had in my pile for the grocery store, so it's thin paper, and glued it to the cover. So I'm going to do it for the back here. Unfortunately, when I went and did this one, I cut it a little short. On the front here, I had cut a bigger piece, glued it down, and then went around it and trimmed it. So this one's going to be a little bit different. I'll be able to trim the two sides, but I'm not going to be able to trim the top and the bottom because I cut it a little too short, sadly. All right, so I'm going to just attach some of that kind of glue, and then just to make sure it stays good, I'm going to put this on the edge. Now I'm not going to put it actually on the edge because, again, like I said, I kind of shorted this paper, so I don't need the glue to be sticking out. But just going to do a double little thing here. And we're just going to go ahead and do my best to center it. And glue it down. Okay, so what I did when I did the front was I did take an X-Acto knife to cut around it. You can take scissors to do it if you want, but I thought this was probably a quick way to go ahead and give that a nice cut. This side, you can also, you gotta be careful not to cut the binding, but you can go ahead and trim that. And as I was thinking that, I said I probably could have wrapped it over and glued it down on the edge, but leaving the edge open is not the worst thing in the world. All right, so there is the back binder, and you can tell there's a little bit of styrofoam showing, but not too much for it. Again, not an heirloom kind of journal, but just a fun junk journal. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today on this project. I hope you enjoyed that. For some of the people that that inquired about having a journal that you complete without having all the fancy stuff, all the digitals, all the fancy papers, and to be able to not sew it in if you're not used to having that sewing technique. This is definitely an easy way. And to be full disclosure, this is the first time I did it on camera. I saw a couple videos for it, but did not practice this at all, and that's why I think this first page is a little loose. I probably could have done something a little bit better for that one, but these were all just done as you saw them, which is how I like to do my videos, because we all decide to start somewhere, and if you're new to this, I want you to see that even if you haven't done it before, you can confidently do one without problem. So that, I'm on my soapbox for that today, explaining to just give it a try. Even if you don't have all the fancy equipment and printers, all I used literally was a little pair of scissors, some junk from my garbage, and a styrofoam tray. I think it was chicken legs. Highly washed though. I did definitely, in case no one's thinking I got salmonella or everything, it was extremely washed before I used it for this project. So high heat. So, all right, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you haven't checked out my video for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, it's getting close. I'm not sure what it was this morning, but we are inching our way closer to that. So check out that video, leave a comment on that to enter to win the journal if you'd like. And if you like this video and would like to see more things like this, I do have another no-sew journal that I have an idea for. So I'll be making that soon also, with also using these kind of papers. So that is going to be it for me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, and I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.